Ladies and gentlemen, newsflash. Just joking. Uh, it looks like I'm a news reporter in a newsroom, but I'm not, obviously, even though that's me right there you're seeing. Uh, I'll talk a little bit about the Snyder Cut. So, there was an article that spoke on the Snyder Cut. It was done by The Observer. It said, what if Warner Brothers had released the Snyder Cut Justice League? This was done on October 12th, 2018 by Brandon Katz. Let's get into it. So, ever since Warner Brothers' Justice League embarrassed itself in the box office and was met with a derisive shrug from critics and fans, a certain sect of DC Extended Universe supporters have been on a mission. Their aim: convince Warner Brothers release the original director Zack Snyder's version of the film, which may or may not even exist. It's an effort that has taken on the social battle cry of the release the Snyder Cut. The filmmaker departed the project in March of 2017, and Joss Whedon, the Avengers, was brought on to oversee the remainder of production, which led to conflicting tones and styles when Justice League finally hit theaters last November. This division of cinema crusaders is made up of both toxic DC fans that had vitriolic harassment at any or all opposition and supportive moviegoers that generally enjoyed Snyder's style and just are hoping to see the conclusion of his trilogy that begins with the 2013's Man of Steel. As with any contingent, there are both extremists and level-headed individuals in its ranks, but the studio is likely never to release the Snyder Cut if it exists at all. But what if Snyder and the studio never parted ways and the final product was actually his intended vision? What would have the industry results look like? As nearly 658 million worldwide, Justice League unfortunately holds the dubious distinction of being both a global blockbuster and a financial flop. It is the DC Extended Universe lowest grossing film to date. Against a budget estimated to range from $250 million to $300 million thanks to significant and costly reshoots, Warner Bros. Is believed to have lost anywhere from $50 million to $100 million on the film. Industry analysts debate whether or not Snyder's vision would have performed better. I honestly don't think Zack Snyder's vision would have been that much different, Jeff Buck, box office analyst at Exhibitor Relations, told Observer. Honestly, Jeff Buck don't know what's going on. It would have been a completely different film, obviously. Look, his Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice was a train wreck of a film, and that was all on him. Actually, it wasn't. It was on Warner Brothers. But even so, it grossed profit. It made $850 million. So with that as a barometer, I don't have much faith that there's anything inherent to his version that would have pushed this past $1 billion. No, it wouldn't have pushed it past. Well, it would have pushed it past $1 billion. I think so. I think it would have pushed it past $1 billion. But Warner Bros. Would have made a profit. Sure. Others are more optimistic, but not by much. It is possible that Snyder's full version of Justice League would have fared a little better at the box office, given it had more of a singular vision to it. Gatish Pandya, found at Box Office Guru, told Observer. It's hard to say if the film would have come out much better, but the resulting numbers for the film were below even the lowest end of expectations. That's for Justice League, Joss Whedon's film. So basically, obviously, it would have made a profit. It would have been castigated by critics, I do believe, but by the overall audience, especially people who expected Zack Snyder's film to come out as Zack Snyder's film, I think we would have loved it to death. It would have been heavily supported. It would have made a ton of money, more than Batman v Superman for sure. I think it would have crossed $1 billion, but not by a huge sum. I think a lot of people would have gone back and seen it because it would have been an epic. If they had let the movie come out like how Zack Snyder wanted it. You know, when you look at BVS, the theatrical cut, it wasn't the ultimate cut. It was not allowed to breathe. People like linear stories. It was not allowed to be linear like the ultimate cut. If they had put out the ultimate cut, Warner Brothers, they would have done much better in the cinemas. And similarly, if they put out Zack Snyder's vision for Justice League, would have done a lot better in the cinemas. It would definitely have crossed $1 billion, I believe. Snyder initially left Justice League in the wake of a family tragedy. And I was thinking, there's no way Justice League wouldn't cross $1 billion. Well, I was absolutely wrong. Warner Bros. Screwed that movie up so bad, and the director, Snyder initially left Justice League in the wake of a family tragedy, though it was later reported that Warner Bros. Might have fired him. Though divisive, his run in the DCU produced some darker counter-programming and modified version of which still is in the works at DC Films. To some of Marvel's lighter fare, a formula engineered over Marvel Studios by Kevin Feige. Snyder's supporters would say he expanded the comic book movie genre, while his detractors would argue he took advantage of it. Whichever side you land on, there's no argument that his 3 movies in the DCU depressed enthusiasm in the brand critically and commercially overall, despite its supporters. I disagree with commercially overall, but I do agree critically. Further straining that perception was the ongoing farm wars between Marvel and DC fans that became fodder for think pieces and industry commentary, coupled with the DCU's track record of missing internal financial expectations. Snyder's exit seemed to be only a matter of time. It was fair to wonder how his version of Justice League might have impacted his future with the studio, as well as the futures of Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck, both of whom are not expected to reprise their respective roles. I think what happened to Snyder personally would have put an end to his vision of the DCU regardless, Bach said. And shut up. He put in a lot of years, and DC has never come close to matching the unbridled enthusiasm of what Marvel dishes out on a consistent basis. And there are different points in the career and the development. And they also noted, directors rarely stay with a comic book movie franchise after 3 films, so they may have parted ways. May. You don't know. Truth be told, if Aquaman does not do well at the box office, y'all got nothing to say, because this DCEU was founded on Zack Snyder's vision. When you're going to screw around with his vision, obviously screw around with the franchise. The only undisputed success for the brand thus far has been Patty Jenkins, which Zack Snyder had part in the story. Wonder Woman. While a few hierarchical shakeups in the wake of Justice League's failure have set the studio on a new path, all eyes are still on December's Aquaman, to a lesser extent April's Shazam. Should the James Wan directed film fail to hit its mark, expect the DCU to completely reshape around Gal Gadot's popular hero and Wonder Woman sequel is already slated to arrive in November 2019. What they need to do is hopefully Aquaman follows in Zack Snyder's style. In case they don't have to reshape nothing. But I don't care about Aquaman right now. I'm just giving you guys the commentary, my views. I care about Zack Snyder's Justice League, and once that comes out, then we can talk about anything else. Long term, both analysts believe that the revered properties under DC Films banner are too beloved not to win out. As the studio sets off on its 2.0 vision of its shared cinematic universe, they have a better balance appealing to mass audiences while keeping the core fan base happy. You ain't keeping the core fan base happy right now. You're like, screw you. We're hitting you with the middle finger. Guess what? I'm not watching none of your damn movies. Fans can be forgiving, especially when the quality of film is delivered to them. So I don't think the DCU has permanent damage, Pandea said. Shut up, dude. They're not forgiving at all. Not with the Snyder Cut. These characters have been loved for decades. To ensure a comeback, WB is pinning his hopes on the new DC Films head, Walter Amada. We sent a whole set of letters to Walter Amada. He never responded. He seems to be just like everybody else. He's showing that he's not caring about the fans, as far as I'm concerned. And therefore, I ain't watching no more DC films until he and his cahoots, that Joker, what's his name? Tommy Emmerich. When those guys respond to the fans, we will respond to them. So far, Warner Bros. Has shown they don't care about the fans. You're going to kick off Henry Cavill? You're going to get rid of Ben Affleck? You got to be kidding. We need a Superman sequel. You can't give us a Superman sequel? Henry Cavill be on Netflix right now? Y'all got to be joking. Warner Bros., y'all playing a fool. So, I don't care about no stupid Joker movie. None of them. All right? I don't want to see no Joker movie. Okay? The Birds of Prey doesn't seem interesting to me. To hear that, what was the guy's name? The dude who's Guardians of the Galaxy is doing Suicide Squad 2. I don't care about that. So, when you guys keep James Gunn is the guy running Suicide Squad 2, man, y'all joking, man. Y'all pulling up all the Marvel people and you putting them into Warner Bros. Man, get the hell out of here. The Flash movie is 2 Marvel directors. Man, get out of here. So I'm not interested in the DC moving forward. Nothing in it interests me. Not one darn thing. So y'all could take it and shove it. But to ensure a comeback, WB spinning. Okay, that singular vision seems to fit with what Buck believes is the brand's single most glaring flaw. Don't get me wrong, the upside is huge for DC. They get it right. Eventually, he said. The amount of content they have at their disposal is staggering and quite simply too big to fail. They just need to find the right orchestrator. They need to find their Kevin Feige. Screw Kevin Feige. I don't give a damn about Kevin Feige. They don't need no Kevin Feige. They need to be themselves. Otherwise, they'll flop. Fair or not, Snyder wasn't the maestro one of us wanted moving forward with. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Time will surely tell. And for all you Warner Brothers apologists out there that don't get the memo, you'll get the memo soon. You're gonna get the memo soon. But for me, as far as I'm concerned, man, screw DC. Until Warner Brothers responds to the Snyder Cut and to the Ayer Cut, screw DC. I don't want to see none of their movies. Peace, people. I'm gone.